Fellas, please come in, have a seat. We are your hosts. I am Larry Jackson, but you can just call me Jackson.
My name is Markel.
Yeah.
But you can call me Markel.
No doubt. And we'd like to welcome you to the Modified Gentlemen's Podcast. So without further ado, we'll get into what we got going on today.
You're listening to the Modified Gentleman.
This is episode 0, our introduction episode. And it'll serve as an explainer of who, what, when, where, why, and how, and cover the details of the show. So it doesn't matter if we're 300 episodes in, new or old listeners could always come back to this episode and understand what the show is all about. Now, before we get started, we got to take care of a couple house cleaning rules. This is a quick disclaimer. We are not licensed mental health professionals. We do not consider, present, or refer to ourselves as licensed psychiatrists or psychologists. And the statements that we express in our show are completely based on our own individual experience and our opinions. What is the Modified Gentleman? First of all, we can tell you what the Modified Gentleman is not. The Modified Gentleman is not about trying to find the best collar shirt that'll fit your suit. It's not about trying to find the best shoes to match your hat or finding the best cologne that smells good. The Modified Gentleman is a mind state. And the way that it's presented is two childhood friends have a sit down and discuss their journey throughout life and what they've learned as they've grown into adults. Now, that would cover running topics ranging from family, friends, kids, relationships, life, death, love, breakups, culture, current news, and everything, all of that.
To address the win, you can catch the Modified Gentleman bi-weekly, so definitely be on the lookout for that. We're going to stay current with the current times, but our subject matter can't change as if something big comes up. You know, we will adjust, and we're definitely open to your suggestions, so don't hesitate to hit us up Instagram.
For sure.
You know, give us some feedback. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. We love the back and forth. Definitely feel free to reach us at The Real Modified Gentleman on Instagram.
Yeah, no doubt. Hit us there. Drop us a line. You can catch all the latest and greatest there, and we'll keep you up to date as much as possible. So how did the Modified Gentleman get started? The Modified Gentleman has been a concept that's been brewing probably in my head for about 12 years, and it's gone through 3 distinct transformations. It started taking shape when my daughters were born, and I wanted to write a memoir to them, you know, to be careful with your heart, to be safe, protect your heart and who you give it to, be mindful of who you give it to. The memoir I wanted to write was more of watch out for this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, be careful for this guy, because this guy may take advantage of your looks. He may take advantage of your kindness. He may take advantage of, you know, just anything that he can prey off of you for. Because I used to be that guy. I was that dude. I was that serial womanizer that was out there, you know, preying on women's kindness and preying on their weakness. Not in a bad way, but more in a way to where I was a player. Plain and simple. That's what it was. Because I treated their mothers like that, you know, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And you always hear the cliche, would you let your daughter date somebody like you? And so, you know what I'm saying? And so and so it hit me like, okay, boom, I got to do better. And so I started working on that. Now, fast forward a couple of years and you got the next transformation. My sons were born. Yeah. So, because I got 5 kids, so it's 2 girls, 3 boys. My girls came first. And so my boys came, the memoir changed again to the fact of don't be that guy. Be better. Don't become that dude. Don't be a womanizer. Don't be a player. Because what I found out was that I had relationship trauma that I never healed from. And instead of, you know, properly healing from it, I just stacked bad habits on it. Bad habits, bad decisions, and, you know, just bad everything on top of that. And I never got over that. But when my sons came along, I was like, yo, I'm going to change it for them too. But as I got older, hit my 30s, you know, and hit that 30 hump and got older, the third iteration came through to where I'm in my manhood now. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm more mindful of my emotions. I'm more vulnerable to things around me. You know, like I can feed off my own emotions better. I never had that template, you know, for myself. from anybody else. I never had an example, so I had to become that example of how to be mindful. But yeah, that's like my take on how I came in contact with trying to be a modified gentleman myself. So, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy like that. No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My how is basically
breakups,
me
whatever.
just, trying to find my way in my own world, because I'm real secluded.
For sure.
I'm real quiet to myself, and learning how to adjust from my perception of how I thought things are in this world and how it should go, and how the real world actually works.
For sure.
And to be able to protect myself, because I'm a nice guy.
You know what they say about nice guys.
By default. You know what I mean?
You know what they say about nice guys.
Facts.
They finish last.
Facts.
I've been there, done that.
And and there was some hard lessons that I had to learn along the way.
Yeah.
To try to have that balance, because that was the main thing that I learned. I had to have balance.
For sure.
Whether through the eyes of others or mainly from myself.
Mm-hmm.
From watching other people, I taught myself how to have a balance and discover some parts of me that I didn't really know was there, or that I could appreciate until that part came
self-reflection.
out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No
yes,
doubt,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. I'm with you.
I'm a little bit of. I got more testosterone than I thought.
It's weird when you come to an age you can look back and you can analyze your own life, man. And it's like, wow, like, okay, this was a bad decision. Don't do that. This was a good decision. Let's try that again. And I feel you, man. I feel you. And that's where I've been too with a lot of my issues, man.
When it comes to the why, I feel like the main reason why we had to make this happen is because there was so many people that's been in our shoes.
Definitely.
That haven't had that voice to speak to lean on, things like that. I'm somewhat of an open book. And if anything that I can say on this platform can help someone better themselves and not have any of the stumbling blocks that I went through, if I can help them avoid that, hey.
I think that one of the best reasons why we really need to make this is because while there's so many little resources to help men figure themselves out, and then we're forced to either push through it, ignore it, or try to figure it out while navigating a toxic environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so the mission of the Modified Gentleman is to build a community where men can go and discuss their obstacles, their successes in life, while promoting a sense of brotherhood and some positive self-development. Like, we want to create an environment where men can confidently send and receive constructive criticism without fear of judgment. A place where men can learn to improve themselves as better husbands, better fathers, better brothers, better uncles, better friends, and ultimately become better leaders while holding each other accountable.
Yes.
Now, last part is important. And one thing I've learned too is that, my mom, God rest her soul, what I'm saying, was like a major foundation in my life. And growing up in the South, it was all Southern hospitality. My mother always taught me to, be respectful of your elders. Be respectful of women. You hold the door open for them, or you pull the chair out when they're about to sit down, or you stand up when they walk in the room. I did all of that stuff. But my mother could not teach me how to be a boyfriend to my girlfriend. My mother could not teach me how to be a husband to my wife.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I needed another man that was in that positive role to show that. And I didn't have that. I wasn't that close to my dad. And I did the best I could, but without having that example, I ended up learning it in the streets.
Right.
And that's what caused a lot of my issues in my relationships, trying to learn how the world works. Because learning from the streets is kind of like, it's hard out there, it's rough out there. And then when you try to apply that to like real world, like trying to raise a family, like it doesn't fly like that, because you still have that street mentality. And a lot of that stuck with me, man. A lot of that was just so wrong. So like you said, as far as trying to help people not even go over those stumbling blocks, not even cross the same path. Before they cross the hard path, you can help them get to a better turn, make a better decision.
That's right. See, that lane is available. There's somewhere else to go.
Exactly. That's the thing. A lot of people don't even know what's out there because they can only see what's in front of them. There might be opportunities out there that you just don't know. And so what we want to do with the show is we want to try to help that and give men out there something to strive for, something to look forward to, because we've been on that journey.
Yes, sir.
We've been doing that, and we understand we're not the be all end all of everything, but we do have input. We do have input,
yes,
and we want to share it. So that's what we're doing. Who is the Modified Gentleman? For me, Larry Jackson, the Modified Gentleman for me, it's a change. It's a transformation in myself. I've seen it over the years, but I've never caught on to it. I got to a point to where I had to step back, and like I said earlier, we analyze our own lives, and this is where I wanted to try to take it to the next level. Because statistically, I come from a statistical background. I'm a black male raised in a single parent home, low income, was on welfare. You know what I'm saying? Like no hopes, nothing. I just wanted to be a rapper. I got a mixtape. Like I got multiple baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? I got all that stereotypical stuff. But as I grew up in life and gained some more experience and tried to become a better man, like I changed everything around. I joined the military. I got multiple degrees. I have been married. I traveled the world. Like I've done a lot of things positive, trying to start businesses and do something completely opposite than where I came from, to let other people know it's possible.
That's right.
And you can make a way out of nothing.
That's
when
right.
When you don't think if you don't think there's nothing, you can make a way out of it. So that's just a quick rundown of me and who I am within the Modified Gentleman.
When it comes to me, there's not much to say. I'm just a big family man.
For sure.
And
for sure.
There was always these perceptions from the media of what a family man is. And learning, because my pop was there, but he wasn't. But his example was there, because the way that, because he worked. There's not too many people that I know would just work out of town the way he did and be gone all week, come home that weekend and be that man and take care of all his business in this concentrated week, which is a weekend, and handle all the fatherly duties that he has to take a nap, drive right back, rinse and repeat. That showed me a work ethic that's been a benefit and a curse.
For sure.
Because I've lost relationships behind a work ethic like that. I can say I probably lost a wife behind that kind of work ethic, being one dimensional. But the family side, there's a balance to that. And now I see how being so one track minded for the family, it can be detrimental to having that well-roundedness for when I do have my child, because I want to be there so I can be as great of a man, an example of a man to my child.
For sure.
That I can possibly be. But I had to put in that work and learn from what could be looked at as mistakes from my father, from my false perception of what was perceived to be a man, and try to put those pieces together, and not to say that I got the puzzle complete, but I definitely feel like I'm on that track.
That's deep, though. That's deep, because we come from two different backgrounds, man.
Yeah.
And I think that adds a huge dynamic to the show. And that's what we want to try to express to our listeners too, is that, like I said, we're not the end all be all, but we have some input across different ranges, different dynamics, different backgrounds. But between us, like, we've been friends for a long time, man. It's been over 20 years.
Yes,
we started out playing Street Fighter.
All
no
day,
joke, playing Street
day.
Fighter as kids, man. So we still good at it.
Please
still
believe.
good at it. So you can come with the joysticks if you want. But anyway,
will roll up.
Put money on it. But anyway, we do our thing. We're still good. We're keeping it together, and this is where we want to take the show. So where can you catch the Modified Gentleman? You'll be able to catch the show on all your major channels that stream podcasts. That's it for us, guys. We're going to hit you on the next show, on the next episode, all right? You guys take care out there.
Can't wait to hear from you guys.
All right, yeah.
It's
Take it
all
easy.
y'all.
This is the Modified Gentleman signing off.
I'm out.
Peace.
You're listening to the Modified Gentleman.